The new Moto E5 is a new dirt cheap phone that costs less than a leather band for the Apple Watch, yet still offers a decent performance, a big battery and a clean Android experience. So, should you consider it? What's up guys, this is Vic Christoph with PhoneArena and I've been using the phone for a while now, and I can definitely see that with such an affordable price, you have to make some compromises. Before we take a deeper dive in the Moto E5, let's contrast it against its siblings, the Moto E5 Plus and the Moto E5 Play. Both these phones are available in the US, while the Moto E5 is not sold stateside. At a price of around 140 euro in Europe, the E5 is not quite as cheap as the $70 Moto E5 Play, and it's not quite as good as the dual-camera Moto E5 Plus with its monstrous 5000 mAh battery. Instead, the Moto E5 is a sort of a middle ground among the super affordable E series. The Moto E5 comes in two versions, gold and grey, and we like these colors as they look subtle yet good. Both versions feature a body that looks like metal from afar, but it's actually plastic, and while the phone feels tightly put together, it also feels way too heavy. On the bottom it has the old micro USB port rather than the newer USB-C port. There's also a 3.5mm headphone jack, and interestingly, the loudspeaker is embedded in the earpiece. On the back you also get a fingerprint scanner, cleverly embedded in the Moto logo. Nice touch. The front of the phone is dominated by a 5.7-inch LCD screen with a 720 by 1440 pixel resolution. Colors look a bit washed out, but the bigger issue is the slow screen refresh rate and reaction time, which results in dizzying amounts of motion blur when scrolling. On the software side, the Moto E5 is powered by Android 8.0 Oreo with a very clean interface with just a few custom widgets. We like that there is virtually no bloatware on this phone, and the few additions that Moto adds are actually some useful widgets and shortcut actions like the raise to see notification one, for instance. Under the hood, the phone runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 425 system chip with 2GB of RAM. This is a chip from nearly 2 years ago, and you can tell as everything runs slow. Not as much as to be unusable, but definitely slow. In terms of storage, you get only 16GB on board, of which around 10 gigs you can actually use, and the rest is occupied by system files. Thankfully, you have a micro SD card slot and you can get a card and expand the existing memory. Slightly bulging out the back is the main camera, a 13-megapixel shooter, while up front you have a 5-megapixel camera for selfies. The image quality is nothing to write home about. First, the camera experience is slow as the camera takes a few long seconds to start, and then autofocusing is slow either. And the images turn out okay for such a cheap phone, but neither the color nor the details are particularly impressive. You can also record video at up to 1080p Full HD resolution and 30 frames per second. The big advantage of owning a Moto E phone is that they have the reputation of lasting a really long time. This here Moto E5 doesn't quite have the huge battery of the E5 Plus, but it still packs a solid 4000 mAh cell that will last around a day and a half on average. Summing it all up, the Moto E5 is a phone with a super affordable price of around 140 euro, and at that price it is inevitable that some compromises have to be made. In the case of the Moto E5, the biggest compromises seem to be the slow performance and the passable camera. And if you ask us, this is a bit too much, and we would rather buy the Moto E5 Plus for a few bucks more. And this wraps up our hands-on review of the Moto E5. Let us know your thoughts about this phone in the comments, hit the like button if you liked the video, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.